Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Okay, this thing has a speaker on here, and then I have one of these for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Okay, but it sounds okay?
audio sounds really good, yeah. Audio's all clear.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Wow, I keep forgetting you don't have long hair anymore.
Yeah, I kind of gave my regrouped after filming, getting through production, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I keep seeing all those images of you with long hair. So I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, we I got through it and then we all like shaved our heads and our whatever facial hair
Nice.
we were doing is like a we baptize ourselves. Uh
That's sick.
yeah. Sierra, how's your day?
It was good. It was kind of weird at work today, just a lot of paperwork. And then in between that, I tried to write some stuff on Writer's Duet,
Mhm.
but then I was like, oh, more paperwork because I'm like an assistant. I don't know. So yeah, but how was your day?
It was good. And this is I'm recording this, but if there's anything you want me to not have in the beginning part, let me know. This is all good.
Whatever you want. It's cool.
All right.
It's
I like
all downhill from here, you
no,
know?
no, no, not at all. Not at all. And I sometimes just forget to tell people. Like, yeah, sometimes I just kind of keep it as is, when we start flowing.
Oh, right.
Um
Yeah, thanks so much for creating this space. I was listening to the other podcasts and it's like so nice to have a place for community and like
cool.
where everyone can just geek out. I think it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Thank you. It's been really fun. And when I definitely put this together, you came up as far as people that I wanted on because of your, in a good way, not trying to toot your horn too much right off the bat, but your personality and your work ethic and your experience as a, creator,
Wow, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's crazy to hear actually. Like that's dope.
It's well, okay, so welcome to the Filthy Animals podcast for anyone
Thank you
listening.
for having us.
Um, uh, Today on the podcast, we have Sierra Sanborn. Sierra is a writer and a producer, and Sierra and I met on her short film, Piggy Banks, that I had the pleasure of being able to work on.
Yes. Yes, you were there, so ride or die. Like I remember like there was a scene where we were like trying to shoot in the middle of the street and you were like waving
Oh, yeah.
cars to go around. I was like, that guy's down. Like he's the best. It was James.
Uh, when it came to my film, it got pretty sketch. I kind of
Oh,
pushed that.
really?
Yeah, I pushed that barrier of guerrilla filmking.
That's dope.
There's a local musician. His name is James Woods, and he plays blues music at 7-Eleven. And I've always had a cool relationship with him. And we coordinated a oneer where the guys pull up their car and park, and then they get out of the car, and we follow the guys getting out of the car. But then we stay on James Woods playing like a Christmas song.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and when we're filming that, I'm like telling customers, I'm telling cars, like
Nice. Like, please don't come in the shot.
yeah, yeah. It was anything for the footage, it's worth it.
Yeah, thank you so much for wanting to work on that. That was like my baby, Piggy Banks. It was like the first thing I ever made. So,
I've had the luxury of being able to watch it. I think it's great. I think you did a
oh,
great job.
thanks.
You put a lot of hard work into it, and it shows. And
Yeah.
that was a fun one for me because that's the first time I got to meet Francisco, and I got to make his.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna do one of these if he's watching. Or what is
That's right.
the?
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I got him.
yeah.
You know, you looked at it, Francisco. You saw it.
And if anyone is watching, this is on International Women's Day. It's a Monday.
Yes, it is a Monday.
It's not a Tuesday evening. It's not the next day. We planned this perfect for this.
Mhm.
So before we get into the two films that we're going to talk about, tell me a little bit about your backstory with film and a little bit about
Cool.
that.
Well, I guess I got into it through editing probably, which is like interest. I think I was like, yeah, I was super into editing when I was in like eighth grade. I was the person with like the flip video that would like make a YouTube video every week.
Yeah.
And like James, like I really mean like I was trying to put in work. I was trying to edit. Like how old are you in eighth grade? Like 13, 14, 12, 14, I don't know, but like before iMovie and all that got like super I don't really care for it now. Of course, like none of it, well, I don't know. But back then, like I would like people would be like, what's duration? And I'd be like, it's this. And I'd be like downloading fonts and stuff. And I remember thinking like, man, I wish I could make videos for a living kind of thing. So probably like 8th grade. And then college, I was like, yeah, I want to do film. And then just like kind of learned more about it. And like, I don't know. I really like the community too. I feel like that's why I stayed, because it's like there's definitely film bros, but there's also the people that like love to geek out. Like me and my roommate, we watched like Point Break the other day, and it was so fun. I love our community, but yeah.
Uh, I agree, and you know, it's just the weirdest coincidence. Like a week ago, I did Point Break, and that's one of our leads wanted to do that film, and
Uh-huh.
I recommend checking that episode out. It's pretty cool. We cover the film pretty well, but we also Point Break was a big influence for me of making a feature film in the South Bay, and like
Yeah, I was gonna say
uh,
hella South Bay.
yeah, and I think it'd be nice for it to be pushed a little bit more, you know, filmmaking in the South Bay. And we, in the intro of the podcast, we cut together footage of Point Break, but with our guys surfing, kind of cross cutting.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. It was a fun episode to do, and we can
Dope.
still talk. We can still talk Point Break. It's pretty fresh on my head.
Yo, when he jumps out of the spoiler alert, when he jumps out of the plane with no like what are they called? Not an airbag.
Little parachute.
Yeah, a parachute. I was like, this is it. This is it.
Do you remember what he yells before he jumps out of the plane, Sierra?
Oh my god, no, I don't.
It's all right. I was gonna have you do it if you did know.
I know that he says I am an FBI agent, but I don't know what
we signed out the podcast with saying because it's two of my leads in the film.
Mm-hmm.
I said, like, as serious as you can, regroup, and then look at frame and hit me with that line, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the line?
Oh, before he jumps out of the airplane, very cinematic moment, he yells, "Fucker!"
I was gonna say fuck it, but
No,
I didn't. God, I knew it was the F word. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty funny because I even told them, I go, "Do you guys notice what he said?" And they were like, "What was it?" It's pretty because I like subtitles sometimes to just like catch extra little riffs, or if something's unclear, you know.
Yeah, fucker.
Do you remember the first time, like when you were young, that you really got hooked on a film, or like a really good movie theater experience, or something your family showed you, you know?
Yeah, honestly, it's probably Harriet the Spy for me. I have it on DVD actually. It was the Nickelodeon one with Michelle Trachtenberg, and I remember it just being like so my roommate just totally broke a dish. I don't know if anyone heard that. I just remember it being like super sentimental, and then just like the subject matter was really captivating to me. Ooh. And then I also feel like when I was a teenager, we all got into like Fight Club and like Eternal Sunshine and stuff. I love those movies. Yeah.
Classy films, good taste.
Yeah. What about you?
The whole joke is, and I've kind of embraced it, but my mom took me to Pulp Fiction when I was probably like,
I love that.
So like when I was like 4 or 3.5, you know, we went and saw Pulp Fiction, and I do have like memories from it. That was kind of the joke, is like,
oh my god, trauma or
a little. The scenes I remember are kind of fucked up scenes. Yes. Like the whole, when he saves Ving Rhames, that scene stood out to me.
Yeah.
It's mainly what really kind of like rocked my world was the music and the soundtrack, and the use of music in Pulp Fiction, and kind of taking that in, you know. And then
Jackie Brown too, I feel like, as a totally South Bay, because they filmed it at Delamo. Yes, exactly. And Pam Grier right on the shirt.
Pam Grier, shout out to Pam.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, that's a big one for me. And then I have like a on my leg, I have my version of like the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I did Bronson, Tom Hardy with the mustache, and he's like smiling. And then I did Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro. Nice. And then I have Clint Eastwood from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And so it's kind of like my Mount Rushmore, whatever you want.
Wow, I love that you have that tatted on your leg. James, sometimes, not to name drop, okay, but like the first time I was temping at Warner Brothers, my friend Michelle was like showing me around, and like there's these bungalows. Have you ever been like on the lot before?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you know the bungalows where like Clint Eastwood lives?
Oh fuck.
I fucking saw that fool one time, like maybe like 2 years later, once I started working on the lot, and he was carrying grocery bags. And literally, I walked right by him, and I was like, I should have helped him, but I didn't.
It's
And I
okay.
guess he leaves like stuff in sound stages for storage and stuff. Like more than one person's told me that. But shout out to Clint Eastwood, you know.
Uh, uh,
Nice. So dope. I love that it's framed.
Illusia, my producer on the film, but also my film professor, and just like my mentor, got me that as a gift. I'm not doing the best of pointing, but
no, it looks dope.
One of my first memories of Clint Eastwood, I was in the 6th grade, and I was in a PE class, and our PE teacher was talking about how he got to be on the set of $1 Million Baby, and he said Clint Eastwood.
Oh my God.
He said Clint Eastwood called everybody out to do a dip contest. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the push-up, the reverse?
Kind of, yeah, like you're doing it from the bars.
I don't work out, so I don't know.
It was an ego strength competition, you know.
Oh, nice.
And Clint Eastwood beat everybody on set.
Yo, I feel like he's mad ripped because even though he's old, I feel like he's, well, $1 Million Baby, what was he, probably like in his 70s, early 70s?
Yeah.
Fool's ripped, like,
yeah.
And he smokes hella, so I don't understand his body, but whatever.
I agree. And I know that when I went and saw The Mule, did you see that one?
I remember the sex scene. It was like he had a 3-way, and then I was like, oh, you know, maybe this isn't for me, but I did watch it. I watched it with my dad, unfortunately. My dad loves Clint Eastwood.
I went and saw The Mule in theaters, and I heard rough reviews about it. If you in a good way, if you watch The Mule as a comedy, the way you just described it, it's very good. I think it's a very good film.
Yeah. Reviews are crazy because it's like, for the longest time, I didn't watch Birds of Prey because people were telling me like it had mixed reviews. And then I watched it and I literally love that movie. It's so good. Everything about it's good.
When Harley Quinn, I got to see that in theaters, and when Harley Quinn does the club scene and it speeds up and it shows her in different parts of the club. I love that scene so much. I think I would love to do a version of that in my own little way. I think it was really well done.
Oh my God, it was so dope. Yeah. I also love the egg sandwich, like the Holy Grail egg sandwich, because I guess people are like, yeah, that's how they actually look at bodegas and stuff. Like they did a really good job. It matters, you know. Birds of Prey was so good.
I agree. I thought it was a good watch. I enjoy the use of food in film where have you seen Zombieland?
Yeah, I have. I love it. Double tap.
Yes, exactly. And I like the use of the Twinkie, that ongoing joke they have.
Not the fucking snowballs.
Exactly.
The Twinkies. Yeah. And when he finally gets it, it looks so good too.
I know. And his satisfaction is awesome.
I know. Yeah, I didn't see the second one. Maybe I should. Zombieland 2? You watched it?
There's a side character in the film that steals the show. She's like, you'll know who I'm talking about. She's not part of the main crew. They throw her in the mix, and I think she's exceptional in it. She totally stole the show for me personally.
Dude, if I watch it this weekend, I'm gonna text you and be like, I know who it is. Okay,
let me
cool.
Okay, cool. Let me know. Okay. I'm like, you're hitting me with so many fun films and like references.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to just touch on The Mule. I always kid around that I'll never be in front of the camera. I'll always direct, but I was kind of kidding like with friends and family. If I ever do a film when I'm like 90 or kind of pushing it, I'll do The Mule. I'll do my.
Or like John, same shit.
Exactly. And I will do my like, I love when he's like shirtless.
We're gonna root for you. Yes, I know. He's so old and shirtless, and it's just like that's what we want. Live life to the fullest, you know.
Yeah. No, good shit. And then just one more thing about Clint Eastwood. I guess he's like a one-take guy with filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one and done.
I wonder if he ever deviates from the script or improv. I feel like he probably doesn't improv at all.
The only one he did that was kind of a rough one was the 357 or something to Paris, and he casted the real
Yeah.
guys that were untrained actors because they really were involved in the true story. And it's a bit rough. It's a rougher.
Rough. It's
Yeah.
like stunt people, just full on,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, rough. We love you, stunts, but you know, it's
Yeah,
a reason you're stunts. So
exactly. Do you want to cover Jennifer's Body or The Sound of Music first, or The Sound of Metal? I'm sorry.
oh, probably Jennifer's Body, just because we were like voice memoing it on Instagram and I got hype off of it.
Good.
And also International Women's Day. So we could start
That's
with
right.
Jennifer's Body. Yeah.
Monday.
It's a Monday, guys.
And there's a good amount of episodes in the back burner right now, so this may be like a week and a half from now. So.
Well, that's good. I can't wait to listen to them. Oh my God.
Oh, rad. Cool. And thank you for checking out previous episodes and the feedback. That's awesome.
Yes. Shout out to Nathan.
Nathan was here yesterday, actually, and he was playing with my lighting, and my camera's wider than it is, and I was going to fix it, and it's okay. But Nathan definitely, the Nathan touch. Shout out to Nathan.
Right. Was he gaffing it up in there?
He always, and he
always has that light thingy. What is it called?
His that's so
the
funny.
Light gaffy thingy.
Sorry, Nathan, for not knowing on the spot. Okay, so we are here to cover a film from 2009. This film was directed by Karen Kusama. She's directed films like The Invitation, Girl Fight, Destroyer, Eon Flux, and she directed an episode of HBO's The Outsider. The writer is Diablo Cody, the writer of Tully, Young Adult, Juno, and much more. This is starring Megan Fox, Amanda Seyfried, Adam Brody, Johnny Simmons. This film is about a newly possessed high school cheerleader turns into the suburbs who specialize in killing her male classmates. Can her best friend put an end to the horror? We're talking about Jennifer's Body.
Yes. My element. Our element. You love this movie too.
It's pretty cool. I saw this film for the first time 6 months ago, and it was because of an interview. It was because
from Beyond Fest?
Is that what it was?
I was there, James. I was there in the second fucking row.
You can swear, yeah.
I was there. Me and my roommate Erin were there. We were listening to her. My friend Erin told her, "You made me gay," and she was like, "All right, that's sick." Like Megan Fox looks so like she's not from a planet like planet Earth. Like she's so beautiful. Anyways, but yeah, I was there.
I think Megan Fox had a really good like self-awareness in this film, and like where she was at that stage, and that put me on this little trail where I started listening to just a bunch of interviews with them, and how this film has basically become a cult following because originally it kind of bombed in the way it was marketed.
Yes, Fox mismarketed this. And like they were like, "Oh yeah, Megan Fox, 24-year-old boys will love this." But it's for queer culture essentially, and like women.
Yeah. And I got to finally see it about 6 months ago, and I thought it was excellent. I thought it was a really fun film. And tell me, so this is what I like to ask, because you picked this film. Tell me about the first time you saw this movie.
Oh my God. Okay, James, I'm in 11th grade. How old are you in 11th grade? Like 16 or 15 or 17? I was 16.
Yeah, you're like 16.
Yeah. I asked my friend Jason Aguilar to torrent it for me on the Pirate Bay. And he did that. And he also did Zombieland, which is crazy because we were talking about that.
Oh, rad.
And that's when the first time I watched it was like on my Mac desktop. And I was just thinking like, I wanted to watch it because obviously like the girls kissing it. And I was like, that was the big thing, But then I ended up watching it and I was like, I love Juno because Diablo Cody is just such a dope writer. I feel like she doesn't care. And it's like it's not too try hard. Like her writing is just so genuine and like just funny and outlandish. And so like when I found out that she wrote it, I was like, oh, I'm hyped, Jason, let's torrent this. And he did. And that's the first time I watched it. It was amazing.
So your first time it was illegal?
It was very illegal. I have since bought my own coffee.
Okay.
And but good for you. I like literally went to WonderCon maybe like 2017 or 18, and I like Oh my God, I think I have my sweater. Hold on.
Go. Get it. Get some. There you go. Thank you all for listening, being here. We'd like to thank our sponsor.
I like made her sweat.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, and then I went to WonderCon as a Jennifer Sheck because I love that movie so much. But yeah,
what are those like, the cons, the Comic Cons and the?
They're great. They're honestly, you can't bring any like fake weapons, obviously, whatever. So if you're gonna cosplay as something, you can't be like, I don't know. But it's really great. It's kind of like just geeking out over movies, but it's like more so. I feel like a WonderCon it's a lot of like comics or like throwbacks to like animes, but it's really fun. It's just you go around, you buy art that people make, you look at costumes. You should go when the world's back to normal.
Exactly. I've definitely always wanted to go, and even like before internet got a little out of hand, I always appreciated what came out of the weekend from Comic-Con. What trailers did they show? What exclusives?
Oh my God, James! Literally, you would love it because for the movies, like I think they showed the Justice League trailer, or maybe no, it was what's the Star Wars with the first one with Rey or whatever?
Is it not Rogue One? You're talking about the
first time we see Rey. It's like the Return of the Jedi. I don't know. Nobody come for me. I don't fucking know. But
it's the first out of the trilogy of the new.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like we literally got there at 8 a.m. It was already like the lines were done.
Fuck. For
that trailer. Like people literally will spend the whole day at WonderCon just in line to watch the new trailers, like Justice League or whatever. It's competitive. It's not for the weak, you know.
It is. Are you a fan of superhero films and all Justice League?
Yes.
All that? Excited for the new Justice League?
I am. I mean, like, I think I'm just loyal to the brand because like I'd be working at the WB, but yeah, like I feel like I really started getting into like Alan Moore things maybe when I was like 16 or so, probably the same time Fight Club came around.
Cool.
But yeah, so like V for Vendetta and like oh my God, recently I watched 300 as an adult. I feel like it's a perfect movie. I love it.
Yes, I'm a big fan of 300. I think it's Illusion. I do these like top 10 of the decades, and that was in my top 10 and
number 4. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then I just like sidebar, within the past like 2 years, I went and did the Warner Brothers studio tour. You know, it's so awesome and inspiring, and just such a beautiful place.
It is. It's not like have you been on the Universal backlot or all the trams? Yeah, it's not the same. It's not as fun.
It's really not, actually. And I as a kid, I really enjoyed the Universal tours.
But it's so dope, like for a ride. Yeah.
And the last time I did it, at one point, for about 15 to 20 minutes, they just drive by buildings and just name drop. And I was like, what is this filler? This is like really weird that this is part of our time. Like I was like, we don't give a shit.
I know. They'll be like, that's the building for fucking Alfred Hitchcock slept in there sometime. They just like name drop and go down the line. Yeah.
I literally remember he said Tobey Maguire came down here for reshoots. He stayed right there.
You're like, dope. I love Seabiscuit.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a great time.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Me? Oh my God, thank you for asking that. I really have to think. I mean, I know who is my least favorite. It's Batman. Thank you for asking.
Why is he your least favorite?
Because, he's just a rich guy. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like for my favorite superhero, I probably got to think about it for a while. What about you?
It's Batman.
Fuck, I'm so sorry. He's just so rich. I watched The Dark Knight the other day. I mean, I can't keep deviating to different movies, but my favorite superhero is probably, I really like, me and my roommate we still watch Teen Titans. I really like Starfire and Raven.
Wow, you went like the group. The whole. That's like a sidebar superhero. Like that's not. They don't have their feature film yet. That's awesome.
Yeah, I also was super into X-Men for a long time. I really liked Storm.
Yeah.
and Cable.
Oh yeah.
They're dope. Yeah.
Rad. Rad. Josh Brolin
Yeah.
did a really good Cable. I think he did a really good Cable.
I know. I was like, when is Cyclops gonna find out that that's his dad? We don't know. They never they never addressed it in the movie. I don't know. Yeah. I used to work at like a comic book shop, that's why, so I kind of got into it.
That's awesome. I have a friend, Justin Lovato, that was Josh Brolin's trainer for that film. It was pretty cool to talk to him about it.
Is he jacked?
Yeah.
Your friend? Is he like ripped?
Yeah, he's juicy. Like he's, you know what I mean when I say that?
Beefy.
No, like
Dang, that's crazy.
like juicy, like juice.
Oh, like juice stuff?
Yeah.
Kind of, I think, yeah.
Yeah, like
that's crazy.
Steroids, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Did he have to like make him a meal plan and all that stuff, or
it's really awesome. Shit, I'll send you a picture. I wish I would have known.
Okay, I'll remind you.
They made a comic book out of it.
That's cool.
Okay, this is something to actually tell me a story to the listeners of your favorite superhero film. Not superhero film.
Oh, wait a sec. Hold on. Wait. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, definitely. There's the, X-Men 1, 2, 3. We got Wolverine. We got our Wonder Woman.
We have all of the fucking. Okay, I'm gonna go with Wonder Woman because you know what? That got me hype. The first time I saw Wonder Woman, I was like, me and my roommate were talking about it. No wonder boys are like amped. Like right when they get out of like, like Avengers movies and stuff, that shit goes.
Yeah.
Like the first time I saw Black Panther and it's like all of the soldiers are women and they're like the best fighters, I was like, that is sick. I was so amped the first time I saw Wonder Woman. Also beautifully done.
Oh, definitely. It's a bookshelf right here to grab this comic book thing. Keep sharing about your Wonder Woman experience and Warner Brothers, whatever you want to do. I'll be right back.
Okay, guys. So I feel like Wonder Woman, the second one, 1984, terrible. But we're going to redeem ourselves with a third one, you guys. Leave a comment below if you like the second one better than the first one. Personally, I'm going to go with the first one. Why? Because we have ultra violence. We have a magic lasso. We have Gal Gadot just killing it. Choreo, stunts, beautiful costumes, hair, and makeup. Really sad when the guy flies off into the sky. Oh, I love that. Is that your friend?
That's Josh Brolin.
That's Josh Brolin, and they made it a whole. I was gonna say, is he on it? Oh,
I'll show you. I'll send you him on Instagram. He's going
that's
through.
Dope.
He was one of the head trainers at Gold's Gym, and then COVID kind of took over. And
wow.
Yeah, he's doing like home training, and everyone's kind of adapting, with the times.
Well, that's an amazing accomplishment. I mean, getting people ready for like and that in shape for films.
I think it's so cool.
You have to know everything.
I think it's an awesome gig. I think it's an awesome opportunity if you can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I think this is awesome though, Sierra. I'm not kidding.
I know, it's because you just gotta reel me in. I'm sorry.
No. I think what's funny is this is what happens when you get two people that are like this, that will like
just geeked out on movies and pop culture.
I think it's awesome. I think
we love movie ass movies in this household.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's the best film of 2020 for you guys?
Probably. May I Google search?
Of course.
Okay. 2020 movies. Just because I don't want to be like, oh, I wish I would have said that one. I watched Tenet, and I'm gonna give it another chance because the boy I likes that movie. But I couldn't understand it for the longest time. I'm gonna say Soul.
Oh yeah, Soul's great. That's a good job. Good pick.
Soul literally was like this. The person that wrote this went through some shit. And the fact that like the souls could belong to like animals or like people or just anything, I was like, wow, I like how they left that open-ended.
I like the connection that we got to where like the hippies are more in tune.
Yes, and they can visit the spirit world
Yeah,
and just meditate and stuff. It was
exactly.
dope. I think Soul, yeah, Soul for me. What about you?
Um, I I really liked. I think it has to do with the movies that I got to see in movie theaters.
Nice.
I got to see The Gentleman when we were filming Filthy Animals. Did you see The Gentleman?
No, but it's on our like watch list and stuff. I have so much shit on my watch list.
I don't know if it was like because of the paraphernalia that's in the film, and shit like that. But
Yeah.
one of the nights when we were filming, we wrapped at like 8 o'clock at night, and then I kind of told everyone I was just gonna go grab a bite to eat, and I just went solo to see The Gentleman, and that was like a good inspiration during production to kind of get in.
My God, that's dope. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, the poses, you guys totally hit these poses
Oh,
in
thanks.
your photo shoots. Yeah.
We try, right?
Oh my God, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, that's right. I also watched The Little Things.
Hmm.
Have you seen it's on HBO
Yeah, yeah.
Max?
What do you think?
I thought it could have been an hour shorter, but I liked it. Yeah. I really liked the whole like Denzel Washington kind of talking in riddles.
Yeah. I liked that's awesome you said that. I liked the thing at the third act where he gives him the red clip.
Yeah, so he doesn't worry. Oh, no spoilers. But yeah, I loved that.
Um
Yeah.
I kind of have to spoil it. I have to ask something.
Okay.
What's your ending? Was Jared Leto the killer?
I mean, I definitely think that he was going around murdering people.
So you think he did it and what it wasn't the guy from the it was the same guy from the opening
It was
scene.
the same guy from the beginning where that when that girl got away, I was like, thank God, because I don't like seeing like hacksaw stuff
Yeah, yeah.
against women now. Violence, like, so I could tie this into Jennifer's Body a little bit, but
Go
I
for it.
feel like we're good on violence against women in movies. Like, I don't need to be seeing it anymore. There's a way that they showed it in The Little Things where it's like it was off camera and implied.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to like see it. I don't
Yeah.
know. But maybe that's just a personal thing. But Jennifer's Body, like the gore in it is kind of like empowering. Like when she eats fools.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's so cool how she grooms them and
Uh-huh.
it's so comfortable and super aggressive and she's sending the address to the guy and he's like driving in this abandoned neighborhood like what the fuck and
I know. And he's listening to Fall Out Boy or some shit
oh,
at that time.
awesome.
Yeah, but Jennifer's Body, like if I was thinking about it in preparation for this podcast,
Yeah.
and I feel like like nobody else really could play that role. I
No.
mean, given the time culturally,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she was, I think, who does the Transformers movies? Michael
Bay.
Michael Bay. Um, yeah, like I think she was kind of getting blacklisted at that time. Like around the time of Jennifer's Body. And it's kind of like she was so like crucified in the media and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, who else could you think of to play Jennifer? Like, she's so powerful. And it's like, you think it's because she's pretty or her sexuality, but it's like, no, she's out here hunting people.
Yeah.
She's trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's using that to, like, groom you, to take you in.
Yeah, it's awesome. And
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I think is kind of silly is when is it Amanda Seyfried?
I think it's Seyfried. Yeah, Seyfried.
Seyfried?
Yeah, Amanda Seyfried, I think.
Amanda. I'm gonna call her Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda.
Uh,
Needy.
it's always funny when you put glasses and try to make their hair like fuzzy or frizzy,
and she's still just gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. She's like, I never bought it once that she was like, it's like, no.
I know. She's the ugly friend. It's like out of both of them that are movie stars. I don't know.
No, it's I always think that's really funny. And like all she has to do is take the glass. It's like a She's All That situation, and you
Yes, take the Mia Thermopolis, Princess Diaries. Break the hairbrush on your fro. Like he like combs it through her hair. Yeah.
If you had to have a frame from Jennifer's Body, a still from the film, and have it on your wall or around the house, what still would you want?
This is a great question.
Thank you.
I think obviously I'm gonna go with probably the most iconic image when she's like, she has a lighter and she's like, I'm a god. Like, it's just like her outfit and like, just like her presence in that is just like, she just knows like I'm about to fuck shit up. Like I'm unstoppable. And it's just like so iconic to me. That or when she's eating the chicken when it's all thrown up on the floor. I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really neat where we're just talking about violence with women and how do you go about it. And like sometimes all you have to do is like I'm the same way. Like if I ever have to do coverage of a something implying rape or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
I think the mystery of the mind is way scarier. Kind of like in a book or something, like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like pushing the girl in the room, the guy slams the door. That's all I
Yeah.
really need. That's all I really.
We get it. Yeah, we get it. And it's scarier to think about, you know.
Did you see? I'm jumping all over. Did you see
You good?
Judas and the Black Messiah?
No, I haven't. I'm like so juiced on it too.
I'll throw another thing in for you when you watch it. You could just
Okay.
look at the scene. It's not spoilers, and I'll kind of talk in code, or you could just kind of see. There's a situation where African American character is dealing with two police officers, and they have him handcuffed to like a stretcher as they're pushing him into the hospital, and they're like they do a flashback to show you this scene, but the flashback, the scene where you start is it's a room of the men talking about what happened to their friend, and they go, we don't know, and you cut to the man on the stretcher handcuffed, and he's like, why am I handcuffed? And they show him his POV, and his POV are two police officers pulling it, and all they do, one of them turns and smiles, and then it cuts, and all we know is they did something to him. And
Fuck,
like
I hate that.
it's not spoilers. It's not because it's a
No,
side.
no. I just hate that how good that is. Like we don't need to
Fucked.
see it, but it's fucked, you know.
It's extremely violating. It's like a really well done for how the intention. The intention is really well done.
Yeah, not everything has to be irreversible, you guys. Like that watching that in school, I think that's kind of where that came from, where I was like, why are there always movies where it's like, well, we have to show in the Godfather, we have to hear her getting beat up. Like it just seems like unnecessary now. I mean, a lot of those elements, yeah, it's like powerful for the story and it's necessary, you know, to get the narrative across. But I personally just don't want to see it anymore. Kind of. I'm wearing like a Scream. I'm wearing like Drew Barrymore from Scream on my shirt. I'm saying this. Yeah, I don't know. That didn't pair well together. But yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool. So the thing that I like about Jennifer's body is I think it's implied, tell me if I'm wrong, and I think they address this in some of the interviews where it's implied that she was potentially also raped.
When she's sacrificed, yeah. So, I think it is implied because she's a virgin. Well, she's a backdoor virgin. Right. That's what she said. Yeah.
Right. So that's why we get the twist that we get, because they do it to someone that's like not a virgin. But I think the way that was executed is really classy. I could appreciate that.
Yeah, and like she was even saying when we were at Beyond Fest, Megan Fox herself, you know, wow, what a time. She was saying like for that scene, just alone preparing for it for like 2 days, I think they shot it because it was at night, I think. Yeah, it's at night, and I don't think it was on a set. But she said that for 2 days, like she was just mentally, like she said in like the darkest place, one of the darkest places she's been in. And like, it really came through, like her acting alone, just like, that's like how she was sacrificed and was terrible.
Yeah.
We don't need to see all the other stuff. Like,
no, absolutely. And they do a really good job of the, kind of like the juxtaposition of, she goes from fear to the rest of the film.
Feared, yeah.
She's just like emotionless. She just feels nothing. She's just this like savage, you know?
Yeah. And it's like crazy to think about because it's like Megan Fox was also kind of sacrificed by the media in a way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like people like love to blame her for being, you know, like so hard to work with and all this stuff. It's like, no, she actually had like standards on set and like knew her boundaries and things like that. But because she's, you know, I mean, the early 2000s, I feel like it was just really shitty for women. Like on set. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. I wasn't there. I was merely a child.
No, you're absolutely right. And then I just go to what was it like back in the day when we deal with actors like Marilyn Monroe? Like she went through some shit.
Yeah.
You're just kind of, it's interesting because I really like where Megan Fox is at though, where she's kind of
Mm-hmm.
playing a game where she's got the right mindset, but she knows like her vanity, her looks can get her to a certain place, but she's kind of, it's cool. It's playing a game essentially, and like,
Yeah, she's so smart, dude.
yeah, no,
Like listening to her speak,
yeah,
when you were watching the YouTube video, when you
mhm,
watched the interview, I feel like she's so fucking smart.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think she was in really good hands with, we just covered two films yesterday. We covered Portrait of a Lady on Fire and Blue is the Warmest
Nice.
Color.
Nice.
Have you seen those?
Blues. I've seen blue is the warmest color. Portrait, I'm trying to mentally or emotionally prepare myself.
Excellent film. The
Okay.
point, we had a couple people on the podcast, and the point that I brought up that I thought was really interesting was Blue is the Warmest Color is it was shot, written, and the director were all males.
Yeah.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire is that same thing, all females. And
Right.
as a viewer going into it again, rewatching both films for the podcast, I really felt that. I really felt like when you
James, that's amazing that you said that and you can like tell.
oh thank you, Sierra.
Like I don't know, it's so important, you know what I mean? Like obviously
Yeah.
like you yeah. Go ahead.
Well, no, nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could be a nasty man and be all filthy and like I have a big puppy thoughts, but I definitely did see like because I read up on the so it's really interesting. They're both Criterions, both those films, right?
Yeah.
Portrait of Lady on Fire has just a ton of special features. Blue is the Warmest Color is a Criterion and it has no special features. And so I'm like reading up
Mm-hmm.
on the actors, I'm reading up on interviews, and they don't say anything specific, but they don't want to ever work with that director again. And the
Fuck.
one of the scenes where they get intimate, the first one, that's kind of a long scene.
With the man
No,
in
with
portrait or in blue?
no, I'm only talking Blue because I know you've seen it. And
Yeah,
Blue,
blue. So like the first time she has sex with a man or the first time she has sex with a girl?
the girl, when
Yeah, okay.
that that scene took. I feel weird. Like I'm talking because in order of the podcast, it looks like I'm obsessed with the scene, but it took 10 days to film that scene.
Wow.
What the fuck, right?
I feel like he should have just let the women choreograph it. And like that's like pretty excessive for yeah, 10 days of shooting is like so long for a
Yeah,
sex scene.
that's a long ass time. And I kind of justified something in my head where maybe he used everything from days like 9 and 10 to get them as comfortable as
Okay.
possible. But
Yeah.
but in general, in Portrait of a Lady on Fire, the actors were really happy with the stuff they had to do because it was all specific in the script when it comes
Oh, nice. Okay.
to the physical connection and talking and what do we do with my left hand, what do we do with, like, so I think that was like a when you have to do that subject matter, I think it's pretty cool when you could be from an actor's perspective. It sounds like it's very helpful when you could be very specific on what you need.
Yes, like boundaries
Yes.
and like just being like, hey, like Keira Knightley said she's no longer gonna do sex scenes with movies directed by men. And I thought that was dope.
I I have this like one scene I've been writing for this film I want to do. It's about
Uh-huh.
bodybuilders. And I want to do like one scene that's kind of naughty, but it's used in the context where exactly. It's used in the context where the husband is watching his wife like with a guy,
Oh.
you know? But
Oh, okay. Wait, is that like being a cuck?
I don't know.
James, I think that's being a cuck.
What's it, does that stand for something?
Cuck, like someone cuckolding you. Like
Oh fuck.
you
Okay.
can you can look it up on Reddit, I think. I think Reddit will know what that means.
Spell it.
Uh Cuckolding, CUCKHOLDING for the
Thank-
listeners at home. That's CUCK.
I was just confirming the word cuck if it was a K or okay.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is like um it's like a reveal where you see like the hand and then you
Mm-hmm.
see like the sheets being grabbed and then it goes wider. But even when you finally get to seeing the visuals, it becomes soft. And then
Okay.
it's like a reveal where you start to see kind of smoke, but then you realize it's the guy sitting in the corner smoking.
Oh.
But even then I was thinking to myself, because I try to like visualize the actual filming day. And I'm not that into that as much as I thought I would be, like having to do that and like have people in that situation. You know, it's pretty heavy.
Right. It is heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, and also like as a director, I feel like you would want them to feel safe and like make a safe space. I mean, like honestly though, in your presence, like being around you, it is a very safe energy. So I feel like if you eventually wanted to do that, I feel like you out of all people would like take all the steps to make sure everybody, everything's groovy, everything's consensual, people are comfortable, you know?
I'll show my actors irreversible in preparation for this.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Oh God.
thank you. That's cool. Thank you for saying that.
No, yeah, no, it's dead ass. Like you're just very genuine. You could tell like when you watch movies, I feel like you're one of those people that like genuinely like reflects on them and what they mean. You can just tell. Like the first time I met you, I feel like we talked about like, or maybe Francisco too was talking about things he's written. And we were all kind of like just talking about our favorite movies. And I was like, I was like, these guys are like so into film. I love it so much.
It was a cool. I remember you and Monica, correct?
Yeah, Monica. Shout out to Monica, line
Yeah, shout out to
producer.
Monica. You guys were both fun, really fun to chat with and talk film. I remember that was cool.
Yeah, Monica's so like badass.
She's rad. Yeah.
Yeah, because like producing for me was like I'd never produced anything ever
Mhm.
because I just like I feel like I like to write and like I loved making the props for piggy banks because I guess I never saw myself like producing anything, but when Monica came on, I kind of had laid the groundwork and like I was like, oh, I can talk to people. I am smart enough to like plan out a schedule and negotiate budgets and stuff. But then when Monica got there, she was like so confident and like it was so cool for me to see. She just was like, yeah, I have these forms, we're gonna get a pop in, here's the payments. So yeah, I learned a lot from her. She was dope.
What advice would you give yourself going into piggy banks again, like a week out before production? What would you
Oh
tell
my
yourself?
gosh, I love that question. I think I was like so I feel like I wanted to maybe enjoy it more, but that I think my personality is just like I'm like a workaholic, I feel like,
Yeah.
So like I was stressed out like you probably were the majority of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like fortunately we had such a good energy on set and it was such a small I mean like we only raised 15K for it. And so like yeah, it was
Only,
crazy.
only. That's awesome.
Only, right? Yeah, I know. Crowdfunding is just like it's so dope, like our community, because like people that didn't even work on it that were friends with like Nathan or Laura or Sean, like people would donate money. And I was like, this is great. Like people just want to see the homies making stuff.
Yeah.
So I love the energy on set. Maybe I think I would just try to tell myself, like, be less stressed and be very vocal about what you want. Um, with the lines because I feel like some of the lines when I wrote them out, I think when Kat and Luke were riffing, I think that was the footage that got used, and I was like, oh, I wish I would have had some lines in there that I wrote. But that's honestly it.
Oh, that's cool. That comes down to the actors, what's more natural coming out of them, how would they speak
Yeah.
at that level. That's awesome. What's it like being a writer on set and having a director direct your script and your vision? Is it hard to sit back, or was it kind of cool, and was it kind of a fun process to see from that view?
It was cool to see like how people interpret it. Well, like Sean was like, shout out to Sean. He
Yeah,
directed
Sean,
it.
Sean was a cool dude. I like
Sean
Sean.
Matsuyama.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like super like he asked me about everything. Like he wanted to make sure that it looked the way it did in my head and stuff like that. And he was like really great to work with. It was cool like the way that he interpreted the script and even Kat, like our lead actress,
Yeah.
I guess she really resonated with the character and she told me afterwards like and I was like, wow, that's really crazy. Just I just it was just in my head and then I wrote it and now we're making it. So it was cool.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What got you to write that script, that story?
So
Is this okay
I
to
was
ask this? Is this okay?
huh?
Is it okay?
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah.
Okay.
Um, So it's kind of like a messy situation, but everything was fine, James. Okay. Like originally this literal psychopath of a woman reached out to me and she was like, I want to make another short for Can. Would you want to write something? And I was like, okay. Like, I'm not a producer. So I was like, okay. So I always had like that kind of idea in my head because when like my grandma died, I have like her tatted right here.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Um, yeah, yeah. We're tatted, James. We know what it's like. Uh, but when she died, like, uh, my dad kind of just gave all her things away. And so it freaked me out because I was like at the Goodwill one day in Torrance in the South Bay. You know how we do. I was on the Goodwill on Sepulveda and I saw like some things in there where I was like, this is definitely hers. And I like bought some of the VHSs back. And that idea kind of stuck around in there for maybe like 3 years or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. And
Oh yeah.
uh, my grandma passed away a couple months ago, and
I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. Thank you. I know when someone says something like that, you're supposed to thank you for saying.
Well, grandmas are different. Like they're
She and
special.
I were tight. She would take me to Borders growing up, and we would.
I love that.
She and I had a really good relationship, but I just wanted to share a thing that was kind of funny. Really dysfunctional, that side of my family, like really crazy. I'll just kind of just know that it's crazy. Before she was put in a home, I was kind of standing in the house and I was like, I think this is my last time here because the other family members is just kind of wild, you know?
Yeah.
And so I took this like jackrabbit, this like sculpture that I knew as a kid, and I like, what are you doing?
Oh, this is just so sad. So I keep going.
No, it's kind of anyway, it's not okay. You're so funny. So I took this sculpture and then we have her at the home. And then she came over one day and we had her in a wheelchair and we had to like take a van for her to be able to come over. When she comes over, I'm putting footage on in the living room for her to check stuff out. In my cabinet, I put the jackrabbit in there, right? But I never told my grandma I took it, right? So at one point, she's like watching this movie that I put on and she's just like watching and she's like looking. And then she goes, is that my jackrabbit? Like that. And so it was like the first time in like years I felt like I was in trouble, like a little kid. And
right. Yeah, like shit, I took that.
and I played it off and I was like, it is your jackrabbit and it's here. And she was like, okay, cool. And then when I was giving her a ride, as we were like reversing in the driveway, I just paused and I said, I took it. I thought I would never be at the house again. And it ended up being true. Is it okay that I have it? And she was like, yeah, keep it. But it's funny. I went through a similar thing of like,
Objects.
I need a physical connection of something to kind of make it a little easier, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that because I feel like driving around with your grandma, that's such a precious thing.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's like you're finally old enough to like take them for a spin and then like you're the one driving them. I love that. I have a similar memory too. Yeah.
My other grandma, I personal train 2 times a week.
Really? At Gold's Gym?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have like a setup, and she doesn't necessarily need really heavy weights.
She just needs like the little bands.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, she gets a lot of bands, and it's funny. Like when she's like in a really squirrely mood, I'll kick her ass. Like I'll give her tough shit.
Period. Don't let her try to get the best of you.
Yeah, I know.
Grandmas are like so tough. People think, you know.
The other day she was training and I think she was saying this in her head, but she said it out loud, you know? She was like doing this movement and you could hear her go, this is hard. And I was like, what? I go, what'd you say? And then she looked at me like, did I say that out loud? And I was like, is it hard?
Is it hard? Are you struggling, Grandma?
Yeah. Cut the shit, Granny.
We got to get your cardio up. You got to drink more creatine.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing cold cuts.
What the fuck?
Let's get you a turkey breast. Let's cut it 6 different ways. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Quit playing around, Grandma. Get your shit. I just gave you 15 million. Oh wait, it's doing really well as far as the producers go. You have a $40 million budget. I need you to pitch me Jennifer's Body 2. What are we doing?
Oh, okay. So Needy, right? Like at the end, I don't know if you remember, but like Needy goes into the hotel room and she kills the people from
band.
the band.
Yeah.
Devil's Kettle. What is the band's name? Cold Shoulder or Low Shoulder. Low Shoulder. Fuck, I remember. Okay, so she goes to kill them from Low Shoulder, right? With the knife and stuff. Needy, after she stabbed Jennifer in the tit, now she's the only one with these demon powers. So I feel like in the second one, right, we're trying to market this correct. We're trying to come at this correct. We want a queer audience, we want a female audience, we want a bro audience. Everyone just come in, you know, and like enjoy the film. We're gonna have Needy get revenge on, I'm trying to think, her boyfriend already died. Maybe it's just how Needy rehabilitates herself in her life and goes around like as a vigilante, like killing people that are like dangerous to women. Very like, you know, A Girl Walks Alone at Night. Remember that movie?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, very that, but like Jennifer's body. Are you guys in? 40 mil.
Print, sold, go.
Yes.
Go,
and
go.
the soundtrack is going to be Doja Cat. We're also going to have some throwback to emo music, you know. Machine Gun Kelly's doing music and he's dating Megan Fox. We'll throw him in there.
I've seen that.
Maybe some Pop Smoke. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll get that in the mix. Good pitch, good job.
Thank you.
I think Girl Walks Home Alone at Night is a great reference for a sequel and like where you could go about it.
Yeah, I love a vigilante movie.
Yeah.
What's the one, James, that just came out where it's like a pleasant evening or something?
This is great. I know what exactly you're talking about.
It's the one where she literally is like, she does that same shit. She's a vigilante. She kills people that take her home at the bars and stuff like that, like rapers.
It's also got Adam Brody in it, which is kind of interesting. You're talking about Promising Young Woman.
A Promising Young Woman. There you go. I was like, a pleasant evening.
I know. Like that's why I wanted you to keep guessing. That was an awesome guess. I think they did something really interesting with Adam Brody. I don't think he's so much in a position where he needs to get any job he can. He was really famous from the OC, right?
Yeah.
And then they threw him in Jennifer's Body, I think, as like a fun kind of juxtaposition.
And Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's wearing a Fight Club shirt and it ruins the whole fucking movie for me. It's like Brad Pitt's right there. What are you doing?
Is he like a tech guy in it? I don't remember.
He's like the guy that Angelina Jolie hits him in the head with the phone.
Oh, I don't.
Okay. When they're interrogating him, yeah. He's not important.
I totally believe you. And then in Promising Young Woman, he plays a similar role that he does in Jennifer's Body, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like a good typecast. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it was interesting. Yeah,
it works for certain people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Ethan Hawke.
Yeah,
he's just always good old Ethan Hawke. You know, everything he does.
I agree, actually. And the film he directed that came out a year or so ago called Blaze. About the musician Blaze Foley. It's a great film. He's a great director and actor. I think he's awesome. Yeah.
Oh my god, I have to watch all these that we talked about that I haven't seen.
Anything? I'll text it or send it to you. Let me know.
Okay.
We'll kind of regroup.
For sure.
Okay, so sequel pitch off. Cool. I got. This is so awesome. We're all over the place.
I know. I'm sorry. If you wanted it to be super, just like.
No, it's not at all. It's
structured.
It's not at all. It's kind of cool that you have so many film references that are popping up. With Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, I think one of the coolest things that we could do for Jennifer's Body too is the use of playing the whole song.
So good.
Because you emphasize soundtrack, and I think we could do like do you know the globe scene in the room Girl Walks Home Alone at Night when they first kiss?
Yes.
They play the whole song, and it's when he's on he's on Molly or ecstasy or whatever.
Yeah, Molly.
The whole neck thing kind of shows, and they kind of come up really close. But that whole song plays, and it's like a 4-minute scene, and I think I'm a really big fan of that. Like let
I
it
love that.
let it go. Let them go. Let them kind of, jam for a bit.
Yeah. Oh my God. I want to see like all the things you make because I feel like it'll just be so cool.
When
I
we
love that element.
when we leave this, I'll send you something for Filthy Animals. I should have.
Really?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yes.
It's like a little sizzle. Or anyway, I'll send it
But
to you.
totally like for the music for Jennifer's Body too, we're going to have like a lot of meaning. We're going to have all women doing it. Not necessarily like Girl in Red, but we're going to have like some indie influences in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with the way it was marketed originally, we have to pull that card. We have to make.
Yeah, right. Like what an injustice. And then like it's kind of like Birds of Prey. Like I feel like they were like, oh, it's like a bunch of hot girls, like let's and it's a superhero movie. And then like guys watched it and they were like, whatever. I mean, like a lot of my guy friends love Birds of Prey, but I feel like it got a similar rep. Like I like for the longest time, I had my friend Dawn was I think she was an assistant on it to like Rosie Perez. And she was telling me like we
That's
were
awesome.
doing, yeah, we are like working together and she was telling me like it's so good, like you got to see it, da, 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 da. And I was like, yeah, okay, like I've been hearing some things, but I watched it.
Yeah.
It was so great.
Um, is it Black Canary in it?
Black Canary, Journey plays Black Canary.
She's the one that like always
She
tries to,
sings.
but she always tries to. Oh, who's the one that's like always trying to be super cool and she doesn't nail it?
Oh, motherfucking
That's it.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Uh,
She plays what's her character's name? It's something like, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I thought she was excellent. Like the first time she says her name, I'm the
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of looking at her like, what the fuck? I thought it was very funny and really well done. I
Dude,
like it.
that whole movie is so funny. Guys, if you're listening, go watch Birds of Prey. Pause this podcast and just cue it up, you know?
Definitely. Touching on a couple things with the crew of Jennifer's Body. Out of Karen Kusama, have you seen Girl Fight, In the Invitation,
I've
Destroyer?
seen Girl Fight because is this a Rosario Dawson, right?
No, it was Michelle Rodriguez.
Michelle Rodriguez. My bad. That was awful. Don't know why I mixed them up. That's terrible on my behalf. It's recorded.
Same.
But
No,
I
go ahead.
remember like I watched it in high school because I was into the whole boxing movie thing. That's funny that you brought that up because there's like a scene in Southpaw where they use like the whole Frank Ocean song at the end.
Okay.
And I was like, that reminds me of what James is just talking about. But
Yeah.
I saw a Girl Fight. I know that like the DP did like Love Witch or something. So I thought that was cool.
Oh, awesome. I didn't have cool. That's awesome to have.
Yeah, I was like, that makes sense, right? Like
Yeah.
Love Witch and Jennifer's Body. I was like, that's why it was so dope.
Have you seen The Invitation?
Mm.
It's a Netflix film. It's all set in one location. And
Is that with what's his name? The dad from Juno?
you're talking about J.K. Simmons right now? Is that the dad from
Oh
Juno?
no, I love J.K. Simmons. I could talk about him for a whole hour.
Who's the dad
The
from Juno?
Invitation. The dad from Juno is Jason Bateman. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. Wow, he's a young dad in that, huh?
Yeah. The
Invitation
Invitation, man.
has Logan Marshall Green, I think is his name. He kind of looks like Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I'm on the IMDb right now.
I recommend that of checking it out because have you seen the film called The Rental?
The Rental.
Dave Franco directed that.
Oh my God. For some reason I thought of Palo Alto, but that's the other Franco.
No, it's really quick, just because I'll keep naming. The Invitation is a really good job as filmmakers if you have one location and how do you go about it.
Right.
And I think it's really well done. It's pretty hard to pull that off.
How did you feel about like Malcolm and Marie? Not to cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off. I thought there's some really good things about Malcolm and Marie.
For like one location.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think In the Rental is pretty much one location. I like stuff that it's just very efficient for your dollar. If it all could take place in one day, if it all could take place at one location. I enjoyed Malcolm and Marie. I was confused by the intention of the film. Is it a relationship film? Or is it this like secret thing on the critics? Did you watched it, right?
James. I literally was thinking about, I was like, did he make this to be like, oh, I can make something bad to prove to someone I love in real life that I don't care about my career with like Euphoria and all that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel you so hard on that.
Well, his dad is a famous filmmaker, the director, Barry Sonnenfeld, I think. Anyway, just in case I'm butchering the names, the dad, he grew up as his dad is a famous filmmaker. So Illusia and I were even talking like, is there something there where that's what he saw as a child, the two of them, the filmmaker?
No, I didn't even think about that.
And
That gives
so,
me something else to think about too.
well, because they also name off films like filmmakers from the 50s era. And
Yeah,
like,
and like all these sorry, go ahead.
no, because he starts naming off like, you're gonna say I'm a better African American filmmaker than these other African American filmmakers by naming off Spike Lee and like
Barry
John
Jenkins.
Singleton. But then out of nowhere, he names off this guy that did these epic films from like the golden age of Hollywood. And you're like, why would he not name off another white filmmaker from that era of those other black filmmakers? Why is it something from a long
So
time
it's something I didn't even think about it from that perspective.
What do you think of Malcolm and Marie?
I literally watched it going into again, like I hate these preconceived ideas that like reviews, because I feel like I used to like one of my friends was like so into like film reviews, like only watching it if it's like god tier cinema or whatever. But it's like, no, like some of the best things, like, dude, I fucking love E.T. If you're gonna ask a grown man, oh, why is this the greatest movie of all time, they're gonna be like, it's not, it's weird. They're gonna give it a bad rating. You should just go into things yourself without like any type of influence. So because when I watched Malcolm and Marie, I was like, oh, I heard this shit is awful. Twitter said this was trash. Like, I love Zendaya, but I heard this was garbage. The guys from Tenet is in it, which I didn't like Tenet to begin with, so maybe I don't like him. Like, I don't know. But I liked it ultimately. I gotta watch it again now that you told me that.
That's Denzel Washington's son, John David.
No wonder he's so handsome.
Please check out Black Klansman.
Yes, I've only seen some of the scenes where they're in the hall. The like, what are the, it's not a dining hall. It's like a conference hall. What are those corny?
Having the white supremacist meetings.
Yes, those. That's probably why I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, the hall. I remember seeing scenes from that, and then I kind of got like, sometimes like certain visuals freak me out, so I have to like pause for a moment. Like, for example, in Pulp Fiction with the whole ball gag thing, the first time I saw that, I was like, I will pause this and I will come back to it. And I loved it.
I love E.T. I'm just all over the place with like catching up with my thoughts too. I think E.T. is excellent. Really good Spielberg.
You are my people.
It's a really good film. I think also to tell your friend that's like only reading if the reviews are good or bad, that's not fun. That's not fun for yourself if you enjoy.
It's not.
Yeah. And I also think, I don't know your friends, so I'm not talking to them, I'm just talking to people in general. It's like a mindset where especially if you and I as filmmakers and creators, we should be able to watch anything and pick something from it. Like, even like how I said Birds of Prey, I really like the speed up scenes. I've heard that
in the club. Yeah,
like there's reference in anything if you choose to have it, or if you try to say this is shit, it's like, I just think it's a mindset. You should see any film and get something from it and grow as a cinephile or as a creator.
Well said, James. No, honestly, like, that's like, because the first time I watched Sound of Metal, like, me and my roommate had different like views on it, and it was so cool to hear her view. And we were talking about, like, I was like, yeah, like some of the reviews say that it's at a snail's pace, the movie. Yeah. But I feel like it's literally like the film language is, you're learning with him, like, how do you live differently without your hearing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, they totally missed it. I don't know.
Shall we move over to Sound of Metal then, since you just said that?
Sure, yeah, because I'm all over the place, so I'm like, I gotta get it. I gotta stop.
I think it's really awesome. And let me know, are you okay on time and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. After I say Sound of Metal and share this info, I want to hear the discussion that you and your friend had. Okay,
cool.
We're covering a film from 2019, but because of COVID, this was released in, I think, early February on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon Prime. This is directed by Darius Martyr. This is written by Abraham Martyr, Darius Martyr, and Derek Ciafrance.
Nailed it. Yes.
The cinematography is by Danielle Bouquet. This is starring Riz Ahmed, Olivia Cook, Paul Rachi, and Lauren Ridloff. This is about a heavy metals drummer's life is thrown into a free fall when he begins to lose his hearing. We are covering the sound of metal. And you were just sharing about the discussion you had with your roommate.
Yeah. The first time we watched it, I literally was like, this is probably one of my new favorite movies.
Cool.
Just because I feel like the sound design was insane.
Awesome.
Like it was so dope. Like just me and my roommate Tessa, we were talking about it, and she was like explaining to me pretty much how like we're like learning with him. He lost one of his sense, and even like the ducking in and out, like between when he's getting the exam at the doctor's office and stuff. Like I feel like it was really drawn out, but it was like purposefully done.
Yeah.
Like you feel his struggle and his internal frustration, and just the whole thing with Lou. Oh God, and how he like loves her, and like then he just chooses, I don't know. It's just a great movie. Did you like it? I love it. In my head, I'm like, oh God.
No. It was in my top 10 for 2020. I saw a lot of films from 2020, like every film from 20, just to be able to like really embrace. I went from like during production in January and February, I'd only saw 3 films, and I kind of write down my list. By the end of 2020, I had saw it was like over 400 films, and like
James, that's sick.
I caught it. Well, thank you, but I definitely caught up. One of the biggest things that I praise about this film is sound design, and I'm really glad you brought that up. My grandma that I personal train, the one I kick her ass training her
on the daily.
Yeah, every day. Go do your set, grandma.
Come on, you got 400 more reps.
Quit fucking around. Come on.
Stop making cookies.
2 more pull-ups. Okay, so my grandma has a little bit of hearing loss and wears hearing aids, and I have someone else in my family that's a little hard of hearing. And a long time ago, when I took an editing class, my partner was deaf, and I like intentionally, he had a translator, and so we would like get into these. I'll share this part. I don't know. This part's
you can always cut it out if you don't want to keep it.
It's true. Or I'll say it, and then you could be like, maybe cut it. Okay. Okay. So can you hear that?
I mean, it doesn't bother me.
Okay. It's like it's the dog, and he's whining. It sounds like we're burning him alive.
No, he's just chilling. He wants to voice his opinion on sound design.
You're right. I like it too. Do your set, grandma. But anyway, I think it's a very interesting life if someone is deaf or hard of hearing. And I have like a ton of empathy and patience for someone in that situation, because it really is a completely different life experience, you know? And I think the thing that I really get a kick out of is, I think when you lose one of your senses, all of your other senses become enhanced. You know what I mean? So your smell of the all those things, I feel like become a little more sharper, because there's one less thing of a distraction in a way. But what I got a kick out of, this thing I would get into these arguments with my friend. He would have a translator come into class. So when he would come into class, I would say to the translator, "How was your weekend?" On top of asking my friend. And the translator's translating like, "Oh, James asked me, how was my weekend?" And he's telling Marcus what's going. I don't mean to mock that, but he's like telling him.
No, you're not.
He's like telling Marcus, James is. So this guy that's his translator is like, this is how my weekend was. But then I would get a response from my friend who's hard of hearing that would correct me and tell the guy, his translator, "He is my voice. Do not talk to him as if he's a person. he is only my translator.
Oh, look at me.
Yes. And so I would tell him respectfully, no, he's right here. He's a living person. I'm going to check on you and how your weekend was, but I'm also going to check on you.
Check on you.
He and I had like a fun kind of like trial and error about the etiquette of that world and how you do go about it. And like, that is his voice and nothing else, but I still couldn't help myself. We would get in these like little passionate.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's another person. You're not gonna,
yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly. And like, but anyway, we'd be getting the Professor O'Brien was just kind of going like this, and we'd be getting in these fat arguments with the translator.
Nice.
But
he's like, whoa, I don't know how to break this up. It wasn't in the handbook.
I would tell him, I was like, that's bullshit, man. Come on, And so anyway, he and I went to go see a film together.
I love that.
It's not
classmates going to
yeah.
That's the times I miss.
Me too.
In the regular world, yeah.
And it was really cool. And he brought some of his friends. I brought some of my friends. We went and saw Ready Player One, if you want to get specific.
Okay. The scene with The Shining. Great rendering. Some of the best shit I've ever seen. Okay. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
I also think you started it, so I have to add on. I thought The Shining was great. I also thought the King Kong was incredible.
Yes.
The visual and the looks and the leaping from buildings and the movement, I thought was just like exceptional.
Yes.
But what does someone do, Sierra, when they're hard of hearing and they go to a movie?
They feel the vibrations, maybe, or read the subtitles.
They get a pair of glasses.
Wait, what? They're hard of hearing?
When you go to a film and you're hard of hearing, they give you a pair of glasses and they're connected to a box and you see invisible writing at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they do read, right? But it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Not invisible. You know what I'm saying? We can't see it, but with the glasses, you can see the writing.
Wait, that's dope that we have that. I mean, I've never experienced that. So I was like, yeah, what would you do? Like, kind of just feel the vibration of like the sounds and then maybe read what's going on, right? Yeah.
Right. And then the other thing that I thought was really interesting was we go to meet up at a movie and I'm telling myself like, oh, I need to somehow help him. He doesn't need help. He's totally fine. He goes to get a drink and he like imagine the woman at the register. He points to a cup and she goes, cool. So he wants something to drink. And she puts in front of him the large, the medium, the small.
The small.
And he's like, give me a fucking large. And he points to a large. And then he points to the popcorn. And she's like, small, medium, large. And he points to that. And it's like, in my head, automatically, I'm like, oh, I'm going to assist him. And anyway, he's totally fine. And like, he totally, everyone of staff is used to it. And they have a really good process. They have a really good way of going about it. And then, kind of connecting everything with Sound of Metal, I really appreciated the sound design to give people a better understanding, to be more patient with people in this situation.
Pacing is great.
I think it's awesome.
The pacing of the whole movie is great. Like, we're like, because in the beginning, when he's hearing all the sounds in the trailer and like his everyday life, like we're not disrupted by the flow of the movie. And then once his hearing goes out, it's like we have to, as an audience, kind of adjust with him and like learn how to watch a movie as someone like in a way that we haven't before.
Yeah.
It's like so dope.
So let's go through the movie a little bit. I immediately knew I was in really good hands with this filmmaker when we get the morning routine. I love a morning routine in a film where he wakes up, he's doing his push-ups, he's doing his squats, and then he makes his little green concoction shake for his.
He makes coffee for what's her name? Joe?
Lou. Yeah. We got Ruth and Lou, and then the guy that runs the place for people that are hard of hearing is Joe, and then we have the African-American woman that he has like a good little relationship with at the school. Her name is Diane. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of getting the morning routine so we could see what it's like when he's not in his morning routine and he's out of sync. And I really appreciate someone that's trying to keep sober and keep the sobriety. One of the biggest things they need is routine and like that maintenance.
Fuck. That's another level to it. What you just said, it unlocked a part of my brain where I was like, damn, that's sick.
I
Yeah.
I really thought it was terrible when he's drumming really frustrated, even louder than he should be, and
Yeah.
we know he's doing even more damage than he needs to for his ears. What did
Yeah.
what did you think of the school that he goes to?
Okay. I felt like the conversation they had at the dinner table,
Yeah.
like how the passage of time and like that community there, I felt like from the jump, like the way that they were communicating at the table and embracing each other, he was like on the outside of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like this was so well thought out, because I know as an audience member and like thinking about story structure, like he's going to be on the inside of that group one of these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of like that he chooses to be, to live with his, they don't really consider it to be a disability. And
Correct.
so I like, yeah, so I just like how he ended up like, you know, really bonding with those people and finding his own like tribe of people. And he thought it was Lou, and it's like, yeah, they were good for each other for a time, but it's like she has her own shit. He's has his whole new life.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really sweet how they kind of like held each other at the end. Shit. But yeah. I like
Um,
the school.
I thought the computer they use for the typing was really unique. How they kind of start to,
The pacing of that too.
yeah, I dug it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. It was like, I was like into it. I was like, oh, what's he going to say? Like, I'll wait for his reply. Like, what's he going to say? And it was good. Yeah.
I think I really enjoyed it, and I like when Ruben writes his name all big on the classroom
Mhm.
wall. And it's like it's a way
Yeah.
of we see his character in another way. It's a lot of like show don't tell, so you could get a lot and figure out a lot about him by the way he writes it, all kind of big.
Yes. I loved his tats as well.
Yeah. Have you seen him in other films before? This lead, do you like him as an actor?
Dude, he's in I just watched it. What was it called?
Was it Venom or The Night of or
No. It was he was I'm gonna Google it.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Riz, right?
Yeah. He was in a Star Wars film, I think, also.
It was like something super specific. Oh, Nightcrawler.
Oh,
Nightcrawler with Jake
that's
Gyllenhaal.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. He's in Nightcrawler. He was good in that.
Yeah, he was so good in that. I
Yeah.
think that's the first time I saw him actually, and then it was probably Star Wars.
He plays it's like a mini series on HBO, and he plays a someone that gets arrested for something, and as the viewers, we don't know if he actually did it, but it's an exercise in we arrested somebody potentially innocent, but does the prison system make someone eventually a criminal based on someone that's like, clean cut, lives a good life, but being in that environment, makes you a little nastier than.
Yeah, kind of inevitable. It's like
It's a
you gotta
really
survive.
exactly, and it's a really good exercise in the system a little bit. It's pretty fucked.
What is it called? I want to watch it.
It's called The Night of.
The Night of.
And then another one, if
I'm
you
gonna
want,
watch it at work on the clock.
and then and then another one, just not to give you too many,
No.
because the filmmaker Karen Kusama directed an episode. There's a show called The Outsider on HBO.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's cool. It's worth checking out. There's some like I really like some of the episodes, the use of music and how they end episodes. It's just fucking good. They do a really good job. Okay, so with Sound of Metal, I really think it's cool their final scene, Ruben and Lou, and how he's like, it's cool. You've helped me to hear. It's okay.
I know. It killed me. It really did. Because it's like when he was like selling all their belongings and all that, he's like, this is our. He did like let it go just to see if he could like fix, like air quotes if you're not watching it, but like fix himself. Like he was willing to, like that part was already, I don't think he really fully understood that like he already moved past that life with her, because he's willing to just sell all their things. And like I don't know, I feel like everybody's like first love, like that's why I really like this movie, because it's like you can tell like how much he cherishes her and how much he like loves her. and like how much she loves him, but she's not in love with him anymore at the end. Oh my God, so sad. Yeah.
Most of the time when someone's able to still be cool with their ex, I don't know, I find it hard to believe sometimes. It's just tough. In that situation, I totally understood it, and how he can like
Right.
he could give her that pass. Like, you don't need to take on, you've already helped me with my sobriety, you've already helped me to this point, the rest of this isn't on you anymore. And like, he's going through growing pains. It's a pretty great arc.
Yeah,
Great arc.
growing apart. I love stories about just like not necessarily like falling out because of something bad happening, but just like growing up.
Yeah.
And just like that's just like what happens in life and stuff like that.
I
So I feel like that's why I loved it.
I always think too, like, I had to tell this to my buddy once that was like just fucking up. I'm just like, he's in rehab.
Shout out to you wherever you are. Wait, did you say he was in Reno?
Rehab.
I'm so maybe this part. I don't want to mock him for going to rehab. Jesus. Okay, I thought you said Reno. I was like, yo.
Rehab, Reno, same thing.
Same thing.
I told him this. I said, hey man, you and I were like this. You and I were like this. But when, like, you and I are ships in the ocean. And I said, when we made one different thing, we're slowly like this. But then as time goes, we're here now, and we're like totally on a different journey and a different path. And I think,
but you still have love for him.
I'm just sharing an example for the thing.
You still have love for that homie, even though you're in a different path. Yeah.
Shout out to my buddy in Reno.
Yeah, in Reno.
And it's Monday. It's International Women's Day. I forgot what I was gonna fucking say. Okay, what's your favorite scene from this film?
From Sound of Metal.
From Sound of Metal. What is your favorite scene?
Probably, I'm gonna go with when, oh fuck. Like, I think it's just the most impactful scene. I've only seen it twice, but as of now, I think it's when he decides to just like turn off the implant and just be like, I am content with who I love who I am. I don't really need this thing. I don't want to go back. I can't go back. I have to like embrace what's happening to me now. And like his sense of community is so in that moment. Like you can tell he's just thinking about like, fuck, like all these other people that I care about that, you know, they don't consider this a disability, and I kind of don't either on the inside. I think I'm just trying to go back to normalcy. But yeah, I think it's just the end. I think it's the end, bro. I think it's the end when he turns it off and he's like, you know what, fuck it.
It is a really great scene. And my grandma, or like my cousin that wears hearing aids, they'll walk into a living room where my dad and my grandfather are watching live sports, and they have like surround sound. And I don't really watch sports. I watch like mixed martial arts, but
same anyway, here. I don't watch sports.
All right, shout out to sports.
No.
I'll walk in a living room.
The Clippers. My friend Mark likes the Clippers. We rep the Clippers, you know. I heard they're all right.
That's a hockey, right? Just fucking around.
Yeah, I think it's football, you know.
There's a ball and a point system involved, and
they did the goal.
It
was great.
When our team doesn't win, we're upset.
We were in the bubble. He got traded. I literally did I cut you off completely from what you were gonna say?
It's okay. I'm ready. I have it locked and loaded. What were you gonna say?
And like I can see how people people just love sports, but I feel like maybe like I feel like you're my people. We like that it brings joy to other people, but we don't get it, you know.
I walk in a room and I'll go sports. and then they'll go, what the fuck? And I go, who do we want to win today? And then the thing that I get pissed about is when some guy that's sitting on the couch and he's like drinking a beer, eating fucking potato chips, and he's like, nice. come on, number 82, what was that? Blah blah blah. And I'm
or like, not to call anyone out, but like crying when like your team wins like my friend Andrew, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, he was incoherent for a couple, like a week. I want to say everything revolved around the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, and he was in tears. And I know that brings you joy, Andrew, but oh my God, it's football.
Yeah. Well, and exactly. And I always just say when someone's like, number 88, what was that? I say they're a professional athlete that could like work you in any physical exercise ever.
Period.
Be humble and like he didn't catch the ball that time. He tried. All right, come on, cut the shit. You know.
They're not like fucking superhero. Like, well, I guess to tie this into movies, we'll redeem the sports thing for the sports people. What's your favorite sports film? Mine's Miracle.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. My dad's a big hockey fan. We do like we like the Kings, but I don't watch sports. The very first film that popped into my head, I should just said it, was Miracle. Right now,
Miracle. We love Kurt Russell.
Do you believe in miracles? I always say that line, just fucking around. Yeah. I know.
It's the only thing I watch on 4th of July. Miracle.
Is that a 4th of July film?
It is now. I mean, it's American, so I was like, hey.
Do me a favor, on the next 4th of July, also watch a film called Born on the 4th of July.
Okay.
It stars one of my actors. It's directed by Oliver Stone. It's starring Tom Cruise and Raymond J. Barry.
Our guy Raymond.
Yeah, and he played a sexual predator in my film, and I'm also working on a feature-length documentary about him right now.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It's a great film though, and like check that one out with your Miracle double feature.
I shall on 4th of July.
Okay, so I brought up sports for a reason.
Okay.
So like they'll be watching the surround sound game, and I don't watch sports very often, so it's already kind of like alarming for me, all the different noise. And then when you have dudes that are like, oh, come on, blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to talk to my grandma, and like my grandma's like leaning in her hearing aid. So I'm really glad they had that scene where he had the surgery and the implants.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what it's like where you're trying to have a conversation with someone and you're watching a live
and it's like event. Yeah, and all the other sounds competing for that was really great sound design. Oh my God, I don't know anything about like sound mixing or anything, but like I can appreciate that shit because I was like frustrated. I was like, he's trying to be here for a Lou in this fucking social gathering with people that don't really, fuck with him or whatever. And it was like it made me upset. I was like, fuck, he just got this surgery to be there for her. And he can't even pick it up. That was I've never experienced that, obviously. Like, so it was like incredible cinema, filmmaking. Art.
I agree, Sierra. I really agree. My favorite scene from the film is the scene where he's with the boy, and he's at the bottom of the slide, and the boy yeah.
And he's feeling
Well, and also like it kind of just hit me right now. What is that slide made out of, Sierra?
Metal.
And what is he doing?
He's drumming because he's a drummer, and it makes a sound, and it's what? Metal.
It's the sound of
metal.
Yeah, thank you. Sound of metal, but also sound of metal.
Metal.
And that connection.
And the white noise is also the sound of metal. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, good shit. Yep. We're back in the producer's office. We're gonna greenlight you a sequel, Sierra, for Sound of Metal 2. Before you leave the room, though, we're gonna need to hear your pitch.
Okay, Sound of Metal 2. Are you with me? We have a band. Everyone in the band, maybe they don't consider it a disability, but they're out there jamming. We have a diverse cast. We see the different struggles with different instruments, day-to-day life, maybe some romance going on. Our guy Riz, he gets more tattoos, becomes super blasted. Okay. we find Lou on the road. Lou is like screaming. Her eyebrows are a different color now. They're not bleached anymore. And she's like, I want you back. He's like, no, shorty. Like, we're different. And then I want something like really weird to happen that has nothing to do with music, but I can't think of what it would be. I'm going to go with aliens.
Okay, good.
And that's it. No explanation for the aliens either. I like usual alien movies.
Very nice, very nice. I wanted to add earlier too with your Jennifer's body pitch. I think the way you pitched it and would market it, I think a A24 would be all over that. You know what I mean? That kind of pitch you did, and then
oh yeah,
and then with this one, I see like a Kino Lorber or something more low key picking this one up.
Or what is it, Magnolia?
Yeah, it is. And then,
Magnolia would eat that shit up. They'd be like, Cowboys, Sound of Metal and Sound of Aliens. Are you kidding me? And how the aliens will fuck with the technology. You know what I'm saying? They'll fuck with your drums.
Sold. You leave. Go film it. Go film it. I have a question for you.
Sure.
Let's say there's 5 more minutes left in Sound of Metal. What happens next in the film? I believe the final scene is the bench, right? Like
yes, the bench, turning that shit off.
What happens?
Wow, next? It would be so hard to top that if you think about it. It's just such a crazy ass thing. I feel like I would like to see Riz maybe like hitting up that community again, getting in touch with them. I feel like community is so important. It's like this podcast, like, and just being able to like live with someone like my roommate. Like all we do is talk about movies. We haven't seen like. We try to watch a movie like every night, but if we can't, we usually just she watches Naruto or whatever.
What?
But yeah, like if we don't watch a movie, like me and her try to watch a movie she watches Naruto. I appreciate that you don't know what that is. I don't even think, I'm not even joking. It's an anime. I love that you don't know what that is because everyone in my life is watching anime, James. They're constantly watching it. And I just can't. As an Asian American, I've had enough anime.
I'll watch them. I'll be open to it. There's never been one anime film that's gotten me that I've like.
Have you seen Paprika?
I've seen that, and I think it's good. I'm not big on like Nathan and Nathan's really big on Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, and then
yes. My dog's name's Cora.
Is that from the thing?
Yeah, it's like a spinoff from Avatar. She's the Avatar. Yeah.
The fighter that a UFC fighter, his nickname is Stylebender. He fought on Saturday night, and he described the tattoo that's on his stomach, and it's like the 2 islands or the 2 lands from Avatar. The Airbender.
Dude, we stand. Bossing say.
I don't know what I'm
Nathan will get it. He'll get it.
Okay, yeah. Tell it for him. And then I have a friend that's like a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. And then when the movie came out like 2 years ago, we went to theaters to see it. And I was so
sorry.
I'm open to it because it's a film, but I just anime's never really gotten me, to be honest.
Well, James, I think I can speak for all of the casual anime watchers when I can say the Dragon Ball Z live adaptation was, I want to just say it probably is labeled as a disgrace. It's probably one of the worst things I've seen. They did not do Krillin the way I wanted him to look, or Piccolo. So that's really the hair was terrible. You should just watch the Toonami, Cartoon Network.
What's 3 anime films? If I knew nothing about anime and was gonna like restart it and give it a shot, even what's it called, Piccolo again? I remember that one.
Oh, Piccolo, the green dude. Okay. Yeah,
I'll watch that one again. What are 2 others?
So like animes, I feel like my friends personally really like Attack on Titan. It's very gory. But it's like
Andy Muschietti is gonna do the live animation.
Yeah, live adaptation.
Director of it. Yeah. Okay.
Paprika was one. I think My Neighbor Totoro. Totoro, and then Princess Mononoke. They're all like Studio Ghibli. Those 2 are Studio Ghibli. Those are like a good starting point.
Like T-O-T-O-D-O?
Totoro, like Totoro.
R-O. Okay, I got it. Okay. Totodoro.
You've definitely seen him. He's the big panda looking owl. He's gray.
Okay.
He's great. But yeah, those are like a good starting off point, I think.
Awesome.
Also, maybe Yu Yu Hakusho. I feel like you would fuck with that show.
What am I? What Yu Yu?
Yu Yu Hakusho. YU and then Hakusho. I don't know. Just type in Yu Yu Hakusho. HAK.
Rad.
It's about a ghost. It's about a spirit detective, and I feel like that shit would be dope if that was a movie. Cool. Also, Akira. Have you seen Akira?
That's the one. Only I know the cover. I know it's like a dude sitting by like a car or like a motorcycle.
Yes, and they're gonna do a live adaptation for it.
That's why I know. Also, it's is it Taika Waititi or someone else?
Yes, he has it now. I think Brad Pitt had it for a while, and now he has it.
Plan B puts out some really good films. Brad Pitt's company.
Yeah. I don't think Sorry to Bother You's Plan B, is it? No, it's not.
Oh, I don't know, but that's a good film. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I watched something the other day and I was like, holy fuck, this is a Plan B movie? Like, that's pretty sick.
I think I watched Minari and that was Plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Minari?
I saw it. Yeah. I liked it a lot.
Do you know, you're saying as if, do people not like it?
No, I don't know. Steven Yeun does shit to me. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk about. Also the little boy. What was his name? He is so precious.
I really liked Minari, and I'm really glad Steve Yeun, after The Walking Dead, is doing films like Burning in this film. It's really cool.
Yeah, he was also in Sorry to Bother You, right?
Oh, I forgot if he was. My bad.
Yeah, he was in that too. He looked damn good in that movie too.
I just remember the two scenes where, like, of course, like the horsemen, that was really crazy, and then the really polite argument I thought was really cool.
Yes.
They're like,
that movie, I literally waited so long to watch Sorry to Bother You, and then once I did, I was like, yo, I was missing out for a while.
It's good.
It's such a, I hate the word think piece, but it's a think piece. You know what I mean? It got me, like, the wheels are turning. There's all kinds of shit in that movie where I'm like, damn, like, this is their first debut movie.
Well, in combining genres like that's really fun.
Yeah, it was so well done. It was like a comic book.
What's a think piece though? I've never heard that.
It's it's just like a blanket statement like business people use to be like, oh yeah, I read a think piece or whatever. Something that gets the wheels turning, you know.
That's what I kind of assumed. Okay, I thought there was maybe more to it. I think the way Sound of Metal ends, the whole 5-minute question I was asking you, I hope he goes back to the school and he like hands the two things to the guy and like kind of really confides in him that like, I will live this lifestyle. I'm not ashamed of my situation. And like,
right.
I think he has a really good community there with that school. And I think he and the teacher have a future. There's some good stuff there.
Definitely. Yeah.
And they could get their like, he can get the whole king's crown and she can get the queen's crown. And they get their more tattoos like you talked about.
More tats. We know we're tatted.
How many
big tats?
You just got a new tattoo or no?
Oh, I just touched something. I just touched up a butterfly. Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's on the was that on the spine?
It was.
You feel that shit.
You do. The person I went to did use single needle, so cool. She used to play piano, so she has a really steady hand.
Cool.
And she is a perfectionist, so it took forever. That tiny little, the butterfly's probably like this big, but it took her so long, but it looks great. It just hurts so fucking bad.
What's so long?
Like 4 to 5 hours for that butterfly.
For the touch up also?
No, the touch up, because I think my skin heals really good for tattoos, but the touch up, I literally got there at 11 and I was out the door by like 11:45. It only took like 15 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Before we head out of here, Sierra, is there anything you would like to kind of plug or promote or share, or anything that I could leave in the description below on our video?
I don't really have anything, I would just like to send you I wrote a pilot recently. I want to write for like children's television ultimately.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Sweet.
but if I could send you like
I love
pilots
that.
to read and get your feedback, I would really appreciate that. That's all I want, you know.
I'm honored. I'd love to read it and give you some feedback on it. That's really cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just working on the drafts. I feel like after you work on like I feel like you could probably relate. Like after you work on a short and you like you give so much of yourself to the project, it's kind of like I don't want to write for a while, but I have these things I want to write.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Cool.
kind of like those ideas now. But
What age?
so I have a pilot for children's television, and then I have one that is like I feel like humor, like comedy comes easier or more natural to me. So like I have a pilot that's kind of like I feel like not HBO Max, but maybe like a streaming service or something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to write tailored to that, like maybe like 20s and 30s. But for the kids, I'm trying to write like stuff about or like just like uh emotional and social like situations and like lessons. Just because like I feel like they're so smart, you know, the kids are so smart. And I've always just like I've I've always thought like, oh, I really want to be funny and like write like, you know, maybe like something like I love Insecure or, you know, like show like Broad City. Like I was like, I could do like I feel like I could write something like that. But then I was like, kids television is like it. Like that's where you learn, that shapes your personality, that teaches you empathy, teaches you so many things. Um
What what
yeah.
what age though? Like what age are the kids?
In the pilot or like what I'm writing for? In the pilot, I want to say they're like, I wrote one of them 9.
Okay.
Like they're all spaced out like 9, 10, 11, 12.
Rad. Okay.
Oldest one's 12. Yeah.
It's interesting that you brought that up because I watch my godson because his dad is in Reno. And um,
Reno, shout out.
shout out to Reno.
Reno.
That's so funny.
Full
That's just
circle.
natural good time. He's 2 years old though. His son and I watch him once a week, and he watches this guy called Blippy. Have you heard of Blippy?
Lippy, no. Is it on Amazon Kids?
It's like a YouTube quick one to sample it, and
Oh, okay.
it's not narrative, but I'm so fascinated by like Baby Shark has 8 billion views on YouTube,
Yes, it does.
and like
Kids will sit there and watch it. Like that's all they want to watch.
well, and then Blippy is this guy who's just like fascinated by like trucks or cranes or like a playground, and he's just like
Shout out to Blippy.
going through the mechanics of what the things are, and it is kind of educational for the kid. But I was like going through the numbers on it and like his how much he makes and stuff like that. Not that you want to aim for that, but there is like a lot of untapped territory with what you're bringing up with just like
Oh, right.
what's entertainment for children and what's the quality, and like you got to sift through a lot of kind of junk to find some good stuff, and like I
Yeah,
think
have some funny stuff in there and like some educational stuff in there.
definitely, and there's a form of income in there too, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to do, man. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Just I want to get into a writer's room eventually. So yeah.
Do you have a couple minutes? Can I actually ask you a couple questions real quick?
Sure.
I usually ask this for just the actors, but
Hmm.
I'm just curious your answers now. I think this is going to be
Okay.
Sierra. What is your favorite word?
Food.
Um, Good answer. That's probably in my close to my answer also.
I say like a lot though.
Like I
Yeah,
don't
I say like. I think it's because I'm from the South Bay, like or California. Like I just did it right now.
I do this thing sometimes on the podcast when I'm editing it, and I'll answer a question, and as I answer the question, I like look out into the distance as if I'm gonna find it and then answer it, and I'm like, what the fuck mannerism is
You're
that?
just breaking the fourth wall over here.
And And I'm like, is it over there as I say it? You fucking meatball. Okay. What is your least favorite word?
Probably stupid. I feel like stupid has such a powerful word, and it's such a has such a negative.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, that party was dumb stupid, like that's a good thing. But usually when people are like, oh, like I don't know, I don't like the word stupid, because I feel like when I was younger I used to be like, oh, you're so fucking stupid, like if I couldn't get something.
Yeah.
And it's not because I was dumb, but I hate that word stupid.
How do you deal with this isn't on this. How do you deal with negativity? Because you have like there's some people on especially if I've asked you to come on, where you have like a really good presentation of, I call it PMA, positive mental attitude.
we're trying out here.
But like, what would you say is a good tip to keep that mindset, to avoid negativity and using blunt words by calling somebody stupid, or just, what's your secret to PMA, Sierra?
I think just remembering that, like, well, personally for me, I'm very privileged. Like I have 10 fingers, 10 toes.
Cool.
I like some people, I was born into a middle class family. Like I have work ethic because my parents were like, you need to like get a job and all that. So I was very fortunate to have a good family. So like I try to think about like all the things that I literally have. Like a lot of people don't have family. A lot of people don't have like even like the same opportunity. So it's just like it's okay to be sad, but like you just gotta like keep it pushing and like kind of do it for like even your ancestors, even that like wanted you to have a better life and shit. Period. Also Zoloft, we love.
That's a really good answer. So it sounds like you do a really good job of like finding empathy for anyone of that, of a situation that you're in, having empathy for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, like no, you don't really know what anyone's going through. It's like crazy. We only know as much as people like reveal about themselves. So it's like I'm trying to work on recently, not like even when I first meet someone, I think I used to just be like, I don't know if I don't know if I would vibe with them, but it's like I'm trying to give people like the benefit of the doubt now, because it's like you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keep pushing. Just remember all the things that you like are grateful for, and yeah.
That's a great answer. That's a really great answer. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Creatively, I think it's just like when the homies make stuff. Like I really wish Instagram was not a shopping app and I could just see like anything my friends make. Like it doesn't even have to be like perfect, but just like I feel like just seeing other people make things that they like just cuz like that probably turns me on creatively. Also like colors, bro. Colors and composition, I don't know how to do that, but like when I see it I fucking know. Also emotionally, Kristen Stewart. And then what was the other one? Mentally.
Well, it's not, it's like all is one, but it's cool that you're like,
Oh, Kristen Stewart, she's great. Anything
no,
that she does.
hold on, no, like it could. Okay, I'm just gonna add.
That's my like. She just is part of my answer.
I know. What'd you think of her in Wonder Woman 2?
She was in Wonder Woman 2?
You talking about Kirsten Wiig, the girl from
Oh no, Kristen Stewart from like Underwater or
Twilight.
Twilight, period. Yeah.
She's cool. That's
She made a great short film. You would love it.
What's it called?
It has something to do with being underwater as well. Let me look it up for you.
That was a pretty good film, the Underwater film.
Really? I'm waiting to see it because my roommate's scared of being underwater, and so are all of my friends. So I haven't gotten to see it.
Not to like sidebarring stuff. What films can you not watch that you've had to walk on or turn off? What are films that you know?
Oh, motherfucking it's called, her short film is called Come Swim.
Oh, good title.
Yeah. Films that like I legit had to turn off, the first one being, I think it was like Full Metal Jacket after the yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I just couldn't do that. And then also What's the one with the curb stomping?
American History X.
American History X. First time I watched that, couldn't watch it the whole way.
Yeah.
And then
Good answer.
I want to say Eraserhead too, because that was a whole genre of like, it was like new, like it was like artsy, scary, experimental, and it freaked me out the first time I watched it.
That's cool. I'm not on the Eraserhead train. I've tried it. I watched it. I like David Lynch a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, maybe I need to do a little more psychedelics going into it.
No, you good. I'm not on the Twin Peaks train, but I like Eraserhead.
I've tried Twin Peaks a couple times, and anyway, okay, so we're caught up. Did you add what turns you on emotionally? Did you answer that part of it?
I think my answer was Kristen Stewart, but if I'm being serious, probably I don't know, like there's like a level of emotional intelligence when people can just realize like when things aren't about them and like are able to like, I don't know, I feel like that aids storytelling in a way. Like being able to know that like that you like not everything's about you, not everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that kind of just being like open to criticism, and like if someone's criticizing your art, like you don't have to be like ruled by your emotions and stuff. Like I think it's cool if people don't like if I get like criticism, I'm like, oh, okay, you actually watched it and cared.
Have you ever heard of the four agreements?
No.
Every time I had a shooting list day on our call sheet, okay? On our call sheet, I would tell my assistant director, every day I need this on the call sheet, okay? The four agreements are: number one, be impeccable with your word. Number two, don't take anything personally. Number three, don't make assumptions. And number four, always do your best.
Yeah, perfect. That's a way better way to put it than what I just fucking said. Like that's just it. Yeah.
No, you said it great, which is why I shared that. You essentially appreciate that mindset of you can work with that if someone else is doing that with you. That's it.
Yeah, we all be growing and learning, you know?
Definitely. What turns you off?
Creatively, that's a good question. Maybe like not really like, I don't want to say plagiarism because not everything's original, but just like maybe not giving credit. I feel like that shit pisses me off. Like when someone makes something and you always give credit, always, even if it's on Instagram, like just tag the people. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's the only thing really. Emotionally, probably just like a lack of trust, or like I want to trust the people I'm working with, and I just want them to have full transparency.
Cool.
It was cool working with Sean, because he was just super transparent about like everything and wanted to know like how I felt about like all the things. So that was really cool. Yeah.
He was really cool, and you guys had like a really good location. That's a cool place in Old Torrance. I knew about that place going into the day. That was kind of cool that
Oh, really? Yeah. I love that place. PM Sounds, which we shot in, they're in San Pedro now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, they moved. Can't shoot it there anymore.
That's a kind of a cool feeling, huh? It's like historic that you have that in your film and now the location.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, like, oh, we can't go back in time. It's gone.
We filmed a scene by the port of the view of Long Beach, San Pedro, and
the Dro. Shout out to the Dro.
Yeah, we filmed a lot in San Pedro. The whole area is gutted now, and you couldn't film there if you tried. It's pretty cool to just like we got to film there before it was gone.
You guys got it, yeah.
We were able to get it.
Period.
What is your favorite curse word?
Oh, it's really bad. I can't say it. It's bad. Like it's not. I feel like oh, well, I mean, like I guess fuck or like shitty.
What's the one you're not saying?
I can't. It's just like not a good like word.
Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Is it cunt?
No.
Is it, what the fuck? What's worse than?
It's dyke.
Oh.
That's my favorite cuss word. I don't know why.
It's not bad. It's not you. It's
It has a negative connotation. I feel like I would never call someone that, but like if my toast falls off, if my avocado toast falls off the counter, I'm always like, you dyke, whatever. Like I would never call anyone that, but yeah, that's my favorite cuss word.
I really like in the UK or like in the film The Gentleman, their slang and how they talk. They have the coolest way of talking. But like the way people talk in the UK, when you go buy your newspaper and you get your change, you go, cheers, cunt, and you walk away.
Yeah, cunt.
Like,
yeah.
I just think it's used in such a like, I wish it had a different meaning here.
Yeah, it has like less power when you give it less power. Like they just be saying cunt and they don't mean it like I'm gonna fight you or whatever, a derogatory word for a woman. It's more like, yeah.
I guess I would feel the same way if like somehow my favorite cuss word was like faggot or something. And
yeah, like you don't like saying it, but you're like, yeah, it's just I don't know why.
No, I get it. I get your but that's your favorite. It's okay. That's your favorite.
It's my favorite because I heard Tyler the Creator say it one time in an interview, and then the way he said it, I was like, that's hilarious.
He's a very talented dude. He's got a cool career too, how he's able to like do kids stuff also and shit like that.
Yeah, for real.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound. I can't do this, but like my friends will skateboard. And even when, because I grew up in San Pedro, so like everyone skateboarded like everything, like at school, outside of school. The sound of like skateboarding or just like when they like, oh God, I love that fucking sound. That's my favorite shit.
The sound of speed and the wheels flowing nice.
The wheels like breaking. Yes. And like even like on tile, that shit goes. I fucking love the sound of skateboarding.
I really like that answer. That's a really good answer. What sound or noise do you hate?
I hate the sound of motherfucking people like, sorry, I hate the sound of people like I want to say it's like pens. Like when people are nervous, yeah. When people are nervous, it's just pens. I hate that shit because it's like I can tell that they're bothered and I can hear it.
Yeah. Good answers. Good answers. I can relate to some of your answers. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I feel like I would probably be I love weddings. If I could be a fucking wedding coordinator, like full on J-Lo, I would, but I could not deal with the people.
In the wedding planner? Is that why you said that?
I just love weddings. Like I've never been to one really, but what I see on the internet and like movies, I fucking love weddings. I would be a wedding planner.
That's cool. I enjoy weddings. That's funny. Yeah. I'm always like in the moment on weddings. I stay sharp and I'm like
nice.
Yeah. Like people like to get like they don't ever drink, the people, and then they're like, oh, wedding, I'm gonna decide to drink a lot on this occasion, and then they don't ever drink, so they get sloppy. It's always good.
Yeah.
Stay sharp, Sierra, at wedding. You never know.
When I finally go to one, I will stay sharp.
Yeah, stay sharp, and just like maybe puff or something instead of drinking. You know what I mean? Stay
yes. Stay cross-faded.
Yeah, no, not too cross.
Never mind. Don't do that.
What profession would you not like to do?
I could never, I guess, not like to do. I wouldn't want to be like, I hate like I work in an office. I don't like working in an office because it's like I don't really talk to anyone, and I feel like when you're on set, at least you can like vibe with people and like talk, and like you kind of like band together and have camaraderie because you're making something. And then in the office, it's just kind of like you're quiet and everyone wears nice clothes. I just don't like working in it. I would never want to be like an accountant. But shout out to everyone that is an accountant. That shit's dope. I could never do that shit. You're so smart.
And then the last good answers here. And then the last question is, what are your goals? If it's okay if I ask this one,
sure.
What are your goals, long-term goals, like 3, 5, and like 10 years from now? What's your vision?
Okay, James, this is not a lie. I say this literally to my friends
Good.
only.
Good.
I'm get all of us. We can all make a film, okay? We make a dope film. From the film, I can use part of my income to make a farm, and I would just live on the farm and take care of dogs no one wants. And that's really my goal. Aside from that, probably just like hella hustle. I want to be in like the writer's room soon and just keep writing and learning and stuff. I also feel like maybe I would want to try to direct something because I feel like I know what I want, but I don't know. I'm too like shy to direct, but yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Do you think you're shy?
Like I like in the like like I feel like directors are so like they know what they want and they know how to articulate it and like convey how they want the scene to turn out. And I feel like I don't know if I could do that, but I feel like I know what I want. So,
I think you could totally direct and you come across confident and you're able to comprehend what you need. And you're able to also
okay.
you're also able to come across where it's fun and it doesn't come across demanding or egotistical. And I think the world needs more
Wow.
I think the world needs more women filmmakers. And so no, I think you should I encourage the directing. I think that's great.
Okay. I will have directed something in 10 years and then we will talk about it.
I'll give you the 5, okay? I'll give you the 5.
Okay, we'll do 5 then.
The the
5.
th- the 3 will prioritize getting you into the writer's room. The 5
Yes.
is the directing by then, okay?
Okay, that sounds solid to
And then
me.
the 10-year is the farm, okay? The 10-year will have the farm.
Yeah, shout out all the dogs no one wants. Come to my farm.
That's cool. That's really cool.
We'll get Caesar Milan.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Um, Sierra, thank you so much for your time. This is really cool having you on.
Oh, thanks for literally asking me to do this. This is like the nicest shit ever. Like, I feel like it's such a nice space for the film community just to like have discourse and talk about things we like. So
Cool.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And I'll send you something from Filthy Animals, and then please send me your pilot. I'll check it out.
Okay, I'm tweaking it and I will send it. But you know how that goes.
I do. It just now, it's kind of funny we're rapping. It just now started getting a little glitchy. Say it one more time.
Oh, I'm still like rewriting and reworking it.
Okay,
You know
cool.
how that goes. But yeah, I will definitely send it.
Whenever you want. Okay. Whenever just you can do whenever you want, send me something, okay?
Okay, thanks, James.
Yeah, thank you, Sierra. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate you, bro. That's a sick shirt, dog.
Oh, thank you. Shout out to the Alamo Draft House. When
Oh,
when theaters are back open, go to the Alamo Draft House. You know.
oh, that's some real shit.
Oh yeah, it's cutting it off at the bottom. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, sick. That's
Oh, I'm
dope.
blocking it wrong. Um. Okay, you're rad, Sierra. Stay rad.
You are also rad, James. Thanks for having me. This is great.
All right, you little savage. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.